Last year I made a bird feeder for the backyard, and it has been great in bringing all types of birds in from around the neighbourhood. I'm not a huge bird enthusiast, but it's nice to help around and see them come in from time to time. So, in the spirit of that vein, I set out to make some homes for these birds. And as we all know, with the housing market being as it is right now, these first home buyers need all the help they can get. The first box to build on the list is the Kookaburra box. I'm building all these boxes out of red oak plywood. Why? Well, because that's all I could get my hands on at the time. Taking the plywood, I cut them down into more manageable pieces that I will then measure out the correct dimensions based on my plans to then be cut. Speaking of plans, if you want to build any of these 3 boxes for yourself, the plans for them are on my store linked below. For all the side pieces, I need to cut a 5-degree angle on them, so that the roof will have a small slope to them. The front and back pieces get cut with the miter gauge. I badly need a better one of these. As for the sides, I rip them with one edge getting the angle. After marking out the size for the front opening, I then drill out some holes that will allow me to fit my jigsaw through and cut out the entire hole. With all the pieces now cut out for the Kookaburra box, I set them aside and begin working on the Rosella box. I plan to assemble all 3 boxes in one go. The overall shape and size of this box is a lot smaller than the Kookaburra box, so it's much easier to handle. Using a punch saw, I cut down the ply to smaller sizes. Then, after marking out the sizes, I cut them all to final size. Again, this box also has a 5-degree roof slope, so I make sure to mark that L out and then cut the necessary pieces. Finally, I mark out where the entrance hole will go, and using the same method I drill out some holes and then jigsaw the rest. In the entrance of this box, I decided to add a dowel that would stick out, hopefully giving a place for the birds to grab onto. For the Owlet nightjar box, the overall shape and design is pretty much the same as the Rosella box, just not as tall, so I won't bore you with repeating everything, so here's a quick version. I cut down the ply, and I cut that all down to the correct dimensions, and finally I cut out the entrance hole, same as the Rosella, only just a bit smaller. Now I can begin assembling everything, starting with the Kookaburra box. I start by nailing the front to the sides. As you can see, these pieces for this box I painted off screen just to test out the paint and see how well it would turn out. This box is fairly large and will stick out differently from the others, that's why I cut out these extra parts that will help support the box's weight from the bottom. attach it to the back of the box and finally put the roof on. Then, taking all the parts of the Rosella box, I assemble them in the same manner. I repeated that all again for the Owlet box. Finally, I painted all the boxes with 2 coats of exterior paint. I went with a darker green to hopefully have the boxes blend in with the foliage. Attaching the boxes to the trees was fairly easy. The Kookaburra box was a bit of a pain because of how big it was, but we got them up in the end and drilled in 2 large screws that would keep them in place. We later added some clear plastic sheet around some of the trunks to deter the local possums. The jury's still out on that one. Otherwise, now all that's left is to wait and see if I get any tenants. These boxes turned out nicely and were a simple and fun little weekend project for me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future content. If you got to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching, and tell me what's your favourite bird down in the comments below so that I know you did. Until next time.